The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's host, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night and the show pony David Rodgers, not alongside the Byron Bagwell, or not alongside Mr. Michael Heater, or not alongside Mitchell Gunner, but I do have Mr. Dave Holland, the Dancing the Destroyer, producing the show. Great to have you along. He's behind the scenes, trying to keep us out of a little bit of trouble, and again, great to have you guys along. That's all right. Tonight's show is sponsored by, that's why I didn't want to go no further, because I wanted to make sure it was who the show was sponsored by. Miracle Automotive and Towing. When you need automotive help, don't pray for a miracle. Call Miracle for 24-hour towing service and a full-service auto repair. Call 904-368-1114. Miracle Automotive and Towing, where miracles happen every day. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Welcome in to On the Spot with David Rodgers this beautiful Tuesday night. I am running solo, at least for a little while. Mr. Michael Heater may join us toward the end of the show. Mr. Byron Bagwell, Dave, and company is getting ready to go on a trip. He will not be doing the football game with me this Friday night, but I'll explain that a little bit more. Mr. Mitchell Gunner, he's getting prepared and getting some things done for his show on Thursday. And Mitchell will actually be calling the game with me on Friday night on the radio. Again, I will get into that here just a little bit later. Let us all bow our heads, please. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once again give for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we can be together, dear Lord. The On the Spot guys, even though they're not here, dear Lord, they're here in spirit. And we know that because you put your healing hands and your touch on them, dear Lord, in whatever that they're doing. So they're here in spirit, giving us the giddy up to get the show going and get the show moving. I want to thank you again, like I said, for this beautiful day you've given us, this beautiful week, letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, dear Lord, the United States of America, the most freest, the most powerful nation in the world today, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in this great nation, and you putting your healing hands on our great nation, dear Lord. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those men and women, dear Lord, that are serving and making sure that we're safe each and every day and each and every night as we go to bed, as we go to work, as we do the things that we need to do, that we've got a fighting force that is willing to step up and step in front of that danger, dear Lord, that looms out there, whether it's domestic or international terrorism or anything else, dear Lord, that's happening within this great nation. Keep a hedge of protection over those young men and women, and also those who sacrifice their lives, dear Lord, and all the veterans that have served previous to this serving now, dear Lord. Again, thank you for the first responders that we have, dear Lord. Each and every one of those men and women, as they're out there working hard each and every day to keep us safe, to make sure that when we leave tonight, at least for us, or whatever your family may be doing, that you can lay your head and rest, lay your head on that pillow and rest at night knowing that there's comfort out there and that somebody's protecting you, whether it's an emergency or whether it's something that happens, that the first responders will be there each and every time. Thank you again for the frontline workers, dear Lord, the farmers, the truck drivers, the railroad workers, everybody that makes this great nation turn each and every day, that you keep those guys safe, you keep those guys prosperous, dear Lord, as they're working hard to do the will of the United States of America and the people of this great country. any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them as you know what their needs are, dear Lord. You're the ultimate comforter. You're the ultimate healer, dear Lord. Please touch each and every one of them. Again, as we go, bless the food that we receive, dear Lord, as it goes nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Again, thank you for this time. Thank you for the day. Thank you for the beautiful day today. Thank you for the week that you're going to give us. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen. Let us stand for the pledge. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Welcome in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers. No Byron Bagwell tonight, no Mitchell Gunner, no Michael Heater, just me and Dave Holland, just like the old days, still on the spot with David Rodgers. So, hey, glad that y'all could be come in. I'm going to give you a little opportunity here before I go into the quote of the night for if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, anything that you want to bring up, whether it's from politics to what's going on in our county, state, region, tornado football, hey, whatever it is, hey, make sure you put it on the comments column, and of course, I'm going to read off those comments. But I do have a patriotic quote of the night. Socialism is a philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. Its inherent virtue is the equal sharing of misery. Socialism is a philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. Its inherent virtue is the equal sharing, Dave, of misery. I'll tell you now, that was not a founding father. It's a great philosopher, great writer, and a great leader. Back in the day. We've had this quote before. So I'm going to let you try to take a stab at it.
Aristotle.
Nice guess, though. That's not bad.
Not too far. Not that far back.
Not that far back. How about in last century?
Lincoln.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad. How about Winston Churchill?
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill would be that, man.
Guess.
Yeah, that is a great guess right there, David. And I'm glad that you were able to come up with that. So I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to give you credit for that.
You're too kind.
Absolutely. Hey, don't go anywhere, because here comes the round table.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
Hey, welcome back to the round table. Again, my name is David Rodgers. This is where we go around the region and around the country and bringing you the news brought to you by Harry Business and Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call Dave and Company. Dave, go back to that just real quick, brother. Sorry about that. 904, I should have this memorized. 964-3338. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Let's start here. We begin in Alachua County, where there's a High Springs man. Dave, could you move that right there? That is just out of the reach there. Again, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. That was my fault. I actually set that right there. We begin in Alachua, where a High Springs man is under arrest for attempted robbery. Austin Michael Croy, 32, was arrested and charged for robbery with a weapon. Alachua police say that Croy went to a Healthy Phone Tech and attempted to steal 2 Bluetooth speakers worth $120. Police arrested Croy, who was armed with a gun, as he tried to re-enter the store. No one was injured when a single-engine aircraft had to make an emergency landing on St. Augustine Beach yesterday. The airplane was traveling from West Palm, surveying beach erosion along the Atlantic coast from Tropical Storm Nicole when its engine died. After the plane landed, the ocean waves flipped the plane over. Crews worked into the evening last night to remove the plane from the beach. And an overturned semi blocked traffic on I-75 and south and spilled fertilizer over the interstate this morning. The FHP says the crash happened at the Williston Road exit of I-75 south just after 7 o'clock. Paramedics took a 49-year-old male driver from Brooker to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Thank goodness the interstate has since reopened. Over to Gilchrist County, where a 49-year-old Trenton woman died in a car crash just after midnight this morning. The Florida Highway Patrol reported the crash happened at 12:30 a.m. on Southeast 80th Avenue in Gilchrist County. FHP says the driver went off the road and hit a tree. EMS pronounced her dead on the scene. FHP says she was not, ladies and gentlemen, wearing a seatbelt. Finally, it's time for an all-new segment we call the Recall Recap, featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week, we have 2 recalls to talk about. We begin with a portable generator that can cause crushing injuries to the fingers. Generac has recalled their 6,500 watt and 8,000 watt portable generators due to an unlocked handle that can pinch consumers' fingers against the generator frame when the generator is moved, posing finger amputation and crushing hazards. Please, if you have one of those, make sure you get that back so they can get that fixed or get you a new one.
Yeah, I got one.
Do you? One of those same models?
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Please take that back. Nearly 150,000 Mockingbird single to double baby strollers are being recalled because the lower side of the stroller frame can crack, posing a fall risk to children in the stroller. Hunter branded light fixtures are being recalled because the internal wires, David, in the lights can be damaged, posing electrical shock hazard to the consumer or the buyer.
I don't have a baby stroller, but
Do you have any Hunter branded light fixtures?
not yet, and I probably won't.
There you go. All right. So moving on. Finally, the Big Sky Bread Company. You know them? The Big Sky Bread Company?
Yeah.
Is recalling the chocolate chunk granola and chocolate chunk peanut butter chip granola because of undeclared milk in the bars, which could cause serious illness to people with milk allergies. Hey,
Wow.
got to get that off the shelf, man. Yeah, you're exactly right. If you're allergic to milk and you eat one of them, may not be a good day for you.
No.
So, all right, Dave, what else do we have here? Oh, no, I've already read that.
Oh, you did?
Well, yes, sir. Michael will be joining us shortly with the weather forecast, but I can tell you that showers possible through 2 a.m. around 2 a.m. They're becoming cloudy and cooler. Wake-up temperatures in the 50s and a cool afternoon under cloudy skies with highs in the low 70s and winds, Dave, northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Wow.
Trivia on Wednesday night at Fun Point. Michael Heater does that right there. He will be your trivia host there on Wednesday nights. That starts at 7 p.m. sharp. And then on Thursday night at the Downtown Grill in Stark, that's where I host. We start at 7:30 with Team Trivia. And on Thursday nights, we do a thing called And the Answer Is, usually in the 4th round. And we usually give you a word. So if you're watching the show, you will know what that word is. Dave, I can ask from 1 question to 2 questions to 3 questions. And it's the easiest points that you will ever get from me, I can assure you. And tonight's, or Thursday night's trivia answer, Dave, will be bark. How about that? Bark. A dog barking. Hey, bark off of a tree. You name it. Hey, it may be in there. So remember bark, and that is the answer is. And now, everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, who is our bosses, mine and Byron's boss on Friday nights, doing tornado football, when Michael Heater is doing those voiceovers as their boss as well, and the Bradford County Telegraph and their great staff, including owner John Miller, editor-in-chief Mark Crawford, the ad guru John Ron Tillman, and of course, Mr. Photogenic himself, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. Wow, these are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the second week of November in what year? Bus crash student, a true survivor. Stark unhappy with garbage bill. Lottie chief defends small town law enforcement. Was that the second week of November of 2012, of 2014, or 2016? Go back to it, Dave. Bus crash student, a true survivor. Stark unhappy with garbage bill. Lottie chief defends small town law enforcement. Is that the second week of November of 2012, 2014, or 2016? Here we go. Jessica Traylor recounts her experience recovering from a crash when a semi struck her school bus. She remembered the firefighters using the jaws of life and the care she was receiving in the hospital following the September 29th crash. An increase of around $13,000 a year for the city of Stark for landfill disposal fees left commissioners very upset at WCA and the New River Regional Landfill, with commissioners angry they were not informed of the increase before it took effect. And newly elected Lottie Police Chief Shane Bennett said more services and the technology needed requires more money, which needs to be spent, while the opportunity to gain revenue, such as through traffic fines, has been greatly reduced by the state. So, let's go back, Dave. Go all the way back to there we go. Well, there we go. Bus crash student, a true survivor, which you just heard was Jessica Traylor. Stark unhappy with garbage bill. Lottie chief defends small town law enforcement. Was that the second week of November 2012, 2014, or 2016? So you can leave it right there, Dave. Again, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. Right along with the Dancer Destroyer, Super Dave Holland, always our senior producer on this show. Dave, say hello to everybody, would you?
Hello, everybody.
Tell everybody how your day was. I'm trying to get to there. Tell everybody how your day was today,
Well,
Dave.
I had a pretty busy day in the shop. I personally took care of 22 beautiful haircuts, and the total shop was around 45.
Really?
So the other 23 were split between two stylists. It was a great day, a little rainy there around the end of the day, or seemed like it wanted to rain.
Right.
But that just kept us going, and we had a really, really good day. Really good day.
Good deal. I'm glad that you're with us. No Byron Bagwell tonight, because he is getting ready to go on a big-time hunting trip as him and his dad is going to Oklahoma. Please keep him in your prayers, as they'll be traveling starting in the morning, and they're going to go over there and hunt for some deer. They usually do really good over there. And then, of course, Mr. Michael Heater, he is out right now. He's at the county commissioners meeting, taking care of a couple of things there. And Mitchell Gunner, who normally does On the Spot, Motorsports Media, he is trying to get his show readied up, get it ready to go. And he's also going to fill in on the Bradford Tornado football game Friday night, as Byron is making his exit for this week. And hopefully Byron can come back and we won this game. But, hey, that's to be seen. And, of course, we'll talk about that here in just a minute.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Austin says, I don't have one of them generators. Looking into a 9,000-watt generator for the studio home. Susan Cunningham, Dave, let's get them ready. 2016. I got it here. Melissa, 2014. Bartow Lee, 2014. Roy Jackson, 2014. And I don't have anybody else right now, David. So that's just what we'll have to go with, at least for right now, as we explain what happens here. So, Michael Heater's not here. We were supposed to draw the winner. Susan Cunningham was the winner last month. Susan, by the way, I've got your gift certificate. I need to give it to Michael so I can get it, or I'll bring it to you. We'll get it to you, I promise. I've not forgotten. But anyway, what happens is if you guess the date right on what's the date, you get your name put into a drawing that we do usually the first week of the following month. Of course, we had the election, and of course, Michael's not here because I usually put him in charge of doing that. And hopefully, if he gets back, maybe we'll do the drawing. But if not, we will do that next week. I assure you of that. Just very few, David, this month's drawing or the past month's drawing for a winner. So people's going to have a great chance to win that $25 gift card from the Downtown Grill.
Well, I see a lot of 2014s on the list tonight.
Yeah, and there's Jeff Goins. I need to get him 2014.
I don't know if that's the answer, but
I don't either.
If it is, then wow.
Then wow.
We got
Maybe
some names to put in there.
Yeah, we do. That'll be for this next month's drawing. Or this month's drawing, but we still got to do for last month, is what I meant to say. So we still got to do that. And, of course, a guy owes Miss Susan Cunningham a gift certificate as well. So, again, don't forget, Downtown Grill Trivia is tomorrow night at 7 start with Michael Heater. And then I do my trivia on Thursday night at 7:30 at the Downtown Grill. And I'm going to say Michael's is at Fun Point. So, anyway, I don't have any more guesses, Dave. I think we're going to go with this. Maybe a couple of people came on here. Let's go with this here. And then, of course, I am under the weather. Was doing tropical weather work last week and caught a severe cold. That's been going on. Tomorrow will be a week. That's Mr. Austin Stevens, which does a great job for us, by the way. He does the weather graphics for us. He's the one that sends that in to us. And he also does our YouTube work, which is absolutely phenomenal. Puts a lot of work into that. I want to thank Austin Stevens for all the work that he does each and every week as we get through doing our show on Tuesday nights, Facebook Live. So, Dave, I got one more, 2014. I got a lot of 2014s. I've got one 2016 and a bunch of 2014s. Now, we don't know the answer because we have not looked that far. No. So, I know, Miss Jessica Traylor, so do you. I'm going to say, I'm going to say 2014.
That's a good guess.
All right. What do you say?
I'm going with the majority.
Are you going 2014?
I'm going to go 2014.
All right, 2014. Okay. Anybody else got a guess before we move on? What gives it to you?
I'm thinking the police chief of Lawdy.
Okay. Because of Feltner and now being him. Okay.
Well, maybe not so much Feltner, but police chief.
Yeah, Shane, you know Bennett. You know Shane Bennett. So, absolutely. Okay, well, hey, let's find out. All right, drum roll. And the answer is 2014, November 2014. All David, right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in there.
Wow.
For the drawing next week. So, wow. Good job, guys, if you said 2014. Sorry if you said anything else. But, hey, we do this every Tuesday night. You still have a chance to get your name in there. All you got to do, hey, it only takes one to win. All you got to do is get one correct, and it's possible we pull your name out there. Who knows, right? Just like the lottery.
Hey, Christopher Davis is watching.
Hey, Christopher, what's going on? Anybody new over there on your side? I didn't see Chris's name.
No, I didn't see.
Okay.
See anything new.
Okay. All right. So, again, welcome into the show. My name is David Rodgers, of course. I am your host each and every Tuesday night. I want to say Thursday night at the Downtown Grill. Every Tuesday night. Usually have a company with Mr. Byron Bagwell. I told you where he was at. I told you where Mr. Heater was at. Mr. Gunner. We're running solo, me and Mr. Dave Holland. We used to do this a long time ago, so it's nothing new for us. Dave, I want to talk about a couple of things as we went over some of our local news. And we're going to talk about this. We usually have a production meeting. We try to have one every 3 months or so, and where we all sit down and talk and bring up ideas and things like that. That's where we came up with the recall thing. And I want to add another little segment to our deal that I do on Monday mornings, but sometimes people don't get up that early or may be already at work. Dave, with Chuck on Monday mornings at 7:40, I do what we call the All Tornado Sports Report and Update.
Yes.
This is where I got information from the high school of what's going on at the high school. It doesn't necessarily have to be sports. It's curriculum based as well.
Yes.
Some things that kids should be looking out for, parents, teachers, those kind of things there. So I'm going to read over that report like I do on Monday mornings. If you're okay with that.
I'm fine with that. I didn't catch Monday morning's report, so I'm getting it tonight.
You're getting it tonight. So is the people watching as well. I didn't want to do that. Oh, come on back. Oh no, I didn't just do that. There we go. Shirley just tuned in. She said, "What was the question?" You're talking on what's the date? Well, I'll tell you later, Shirley. We've already given out the answer.
Yeah.
It was 2014, baby doll. 2014 was the clue. But I'll let you see it later on. All right. What they call it is the weekly tornado call out. But what we call it for our show purpose, because of the sponsor of that, which is Roberts Insurance, we call it the All Tornado Sports Report and Update. So it could be anything. So here we go. Congratulations to this month's top tornadoes. Listen to this, David. Lashia Padilla, Alyssa Reddish, Josiah Holden, and Sharday Peterson. Thank you for being model students at BHS. The National Honor Society is doing their annual Thanksgiving food drive, Dave. They're having a contest between first period classes to see which class can collect the most non-perishable foods. Teachers, please collect the food in your classroom, and then they will come pick it up the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. The winning class, Dave, is going to get breakfast biscuits as a reward. How about that?
Wow,
Probably some Hardee's breakfast biscuits. Those are good, too. The Santa Fe College Foundation Scholarship application for 2023-2024 is now open. The priority date is February 15, 2023. Santa Fe will award approximately $1.6 million to deserving students. A majority of the foundation scholarships are awarded to students within the college's serving district, and which is ours, Alachua and Bradford counties. Students who took the ASVAB test, anybody who knows what the ASVAB test, that's the military test, to be able to see which branch of service and what job you can qualify for, are invited to bring their lunch to the library, which was today, I hope, and they learned their scores today, David. Actually, it was yesterday, so they found out what their scores were, I hope. The next SWAT meeting is Wednesday at 8 a.m. in the library. The very last day for seniors to get their senior photos taken for the year is Thursday. You must see Mrs. Leverson to select an appointment time. Prom tickets are currently $75 and will go up once we return to school in January. Dave, somebody told me you were going to the prom this year. Is that true? Don't answer that. Seniors who purchased a ticket last year can purchase one for $25. All non-junior and senior guests, which, Dave, that would include you, cost $100. So, hey, yeah, you got the most money, so it costs you $100.
I'm going to eat more.
Non-BHS guests must complete a guest verification form. Those will be available after the Christmas break. The College Board is offering a free webinar on November 17th to expose parents and students to the Big Future platform. Through this, students can search for colleges and universities, connect to scholarship recognition programs, explore career based on interest and analytics, and become school community ambassadors for a big future. Sign up here if you're interested, David, and that's at collegeboard.zoom.us. Collegeboard, all one word, .zoom.us. Seniors who want a senior shirt hoodie, which will be worn in the senior panoramic picture next semester, need to give their sizes to Mrs. Leverson ASAP. Monday, it will be done on 1/9, Dave. So you got a little time, but you better get it in there. Senior baby pictures for the yearbook are due to Mrs. Leverson by December the 15th. Dave, do we have any baby pictures we can send? Ooh, they don't want to see my ugly mug. Grad Bash is under $50 this year, and the second $50 deposit is due on December the 16th. Tutoring continues this week. It will be in the library from 3:45 to 4:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All you have to do is show up and be ready for work. They're ready to work. Calling all returning tennis team and potential team members. The tennis court will be open on Tuesdays and Thursdays immediately after school. If you're experienced or just interested in learning how to play, come join them on Tuesday and Thursdays immediately after school. Fellowship of Christian Athletes meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. Please come for free food and fellowship. All students are welcome. Yearbooks are now $80. You can purchase one by going to yearbookordercenter.com and entering the school code 14547. Make sure to do so before the price goes up. Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry students can access their math textbook by going to ClassLink and clicking on Algebra Nation. If a student is absent or just needs a review, there are teacher videos that teach each lesson. When a student is absent, their makeup work is to be done on the missed lesson online. This curriculum moves at a fast pace, and it's important that students do not fall behind. Reminders. And someday, Dave, you know, I read these reminders every week, and I keep hearing that these same students keep getting in trouble for the same things. So I'm going to read them right here to all you parents that are listening in and got a kid or a child that goes to Bradford High School. Absolutely, Dave. No food or drinks other than water are allowed in the classroom. Bring a large water bottle to school. No outside food deliveries. Multiple parking violations may result in a citation or your vehicle being towed. Make sure to properly display your parking pass on your rear view mirror. Students should be checking and reading their school emails on a daily basis for important information that is being sent out. Upcoming events, which includes everything, sports, whatever's going on in the school. All athletic tickets will need to be purchased through GoFan at the following link, gofan.co. There will not be any cash ticket sales at any athletic events, Dave, outside of football. So football you can still purchase at the gate. Anything else, you got to go to gofan.co. The Veterans Day celebration band concert that was supposed to be done last Thursday is rescheduled for this Thursday night at 7 p.m. in the auditorium, and that is a free event. Girls basketball plays at home. They're playing tonight. JV must have already played, and the varsity is playing right now. Again, on Thursday, varsity will be playing at 7 o'clock at Tornado Alley, and then they're going to make a little trip just east of us right here to Oakleaf, and the girls will be playing junior varsity at 6, varsity girls at 7:30, and that's on Friday. The girls' weightlifting team has a meet at Union on Thursday at 4 o'clock. They didn't win that last meet. They came in third place, but Michael and Dave, Michael Heater is here with us. I'll slide him here in just a minute. We did have a couple of girls place first, but some of our girls, we got some newer girls now. So it's they're just getting into the flow, starting to live for points. They'll get better as the season goes, I assure you. All right, the JV boys basketball team has a home game on Saturday, and that's at 6 o'clock. If the varsity football team wins last Friday night, which they did. Yeah. I love because this is the way it was written. We'll host the second round of the playoffs Friday night, which indeed we will. All ticket prices increase for playoff games. So as each goes, the ticket prices go up. Current Red Seats holders can purchase their Red Seat playoff ticket Monday through Wednesday from 8:30 to 3. Listen, Red Seat playoff ticket Monday through Wednesday from 8:30 to 3. Anyone else who would like to purchase a Red Seat ticket may do so on Thursday or Friday from 8:30 to 3. Okay, I cleared my throat there, I think. I may have to have Mike fill in here in just a second. But anyway, come on in, Mike, as a matter of fact. We have a game this Friday night, just real quick. We're playing Gainesville Eastside Rams. We beat them in week 4, 28-0. Now, they're looking for revenge on us for sure. They're going to bring a lot of people over here. We're going to have a lot of people. That place should be rocking and rolling. And the Tornadoes will probably, with the exception of Live Oak, which they lost to 10-7 last regular season home game, this may be the toughest test up to this point so far.
I would agree with you on that one. And I can tell you that Eastside's looking for revenge. They were the only team up until the Swanee game that was able to score any points on the Tornadoes. We had blanked every other opponent up to that
And they didn't even score.
And they got 7.
Monroe got 7.
Oh, it's Monroe?
Yeah, that's why Eastside's looking at it.
Okay, even more so. My mistake on that one. So they are definitely looking for a little revenge factor coming into the playoffs. So I expect this to be a rocking team, and I expect there to be quite a turnout on the visitor side. So
Absolutely.
I think this is going to be one where if you wanted to come see a playoff game, this is the game to come to because we really want to show out and make sure that everybody comes out for a great turnout and what I expect to be a really good game.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I expect it to be a really good game, too. I think the Tornadoes are healthy now. They've gotten a lot of their players back. The only person that won't be back is Manny Covey. And unfortunate for him, he has a season-ending injury. He's already had surgery. The next time you see him, Dave and Michael, he'll be in a Cincinnati Bearcat uniform.
Yeah, this is true. And I got to tell you, kudos to Jip Pringle.
Yep.
Man, did he play some special teams effort or what?
Yes, he did.
It was amazing play.
First play of the game. 89
really
yards for a touchdown. Then on a punt return for 36 yards.
Yeah.
He really set the tone for the Tornadoes. Willie Pollard. I could just sit here and name players after players after players
Chasing
after
all
players.
Did an amazing job.
Everybody did. So go out and support the Tornadoes. Really good shot of running this for the state championship. Mike, that was all the local stuff that I have. I want us to sort of do a quick show. What do you have for us?
All right, so real quick, absolutely.
From
Well, first off, I apologize for the delay, but duty called for my other assignment, so I had to take care of that one. So let's bring you up to the latest on the local news. City Commission tonight for the city of Stark met. They set a record, 16 minutes in and out. It was amazing. Covered a few administrative matters, not a big deal. They took care of business at hand. County Commission meeting. Diane Andrews has been voted in as the new chair of the County Commission. Carolyn Spooner will be the vice chair for the coming year. They were able to settle a few things in the county level as well. Under Sheriff Brad Smith made a presentation awarding the Police Life-Saving Award to Deputy Trenton Lovell. Deputy Lovell has been with the Sheriff's Office for a whole 4.5 months and has already done some outstanding work there. Now, he started as an explorer, so he has years of experience in the law enforcement community.
Right.
But he was the first on scene of a traffic crash that was the result of a medical emergency. The patient in the vehicle had an extreme medical condition going on, as well as a severe laceration to his arm. Deputy Lovell used his first aid training to stop the bleeding and using a tourniquet and was able to render care until paramedics arrived. The paramedics did report to law enforcement that the actions of Deputy Lovell directly related to his life being saved prior to EMS arrival. Deputy Lovell was awarded the Police Hall of Fame Life-Saving Award tonight with his family and friends in attendance there at the courthouse. In addition to that, a few other things there. There was a presentation that was done by the Swanee River Water Management District to discuss the flooding issues and floodplain management issues in Bradford County. There's some ideas that have been floated across like that. That's going to be taken on by the county manager's office in direct relationship with the Public Works and County Emergency Management, which means that'll float across my desk in the very near future.
Absolutely.
A presentation of the tobacco-free parks by the Bradford County Students Working Against Tobacco. I didn't get their names. They did a great job in the presentation, so much so that the County Commission has directed staff to draft an ordinance making all county parks tobacco and
Did
vape
that come from
free.
the SWAT team?
It did.
Did it?
From the
Okay.
SWAT youth team.
Okay.
Did an amazing job on that one as well. A few other things. TDC made a request for Christmas on Call Street for funding. At last check, that was being reviewed and was expected to be approved. and a few other just some administrative matters that were being handled by the county commission meeting as well. That meeting should be wrapping up in the next 10 to 20 minutes or so as we speak. That's the latest on the city and county side of things on that.
All right. So, as I was saying, I have told Pepper that I would say it. If y'all missed it, we had a lot of things going on. On the spot was a little bit of everywhere. Mr. Michael Heater was at Crawling for the Fallen, and I'll let him speak about that here in just a minute on how that event went.
Okay.
Mr. Byron Bagwell was actually working and trying to take care of a couple of things. Mr. Mitchell Gunner was also busy as well, as he needed to go on his anniversary. I think that's very important. I think he needed to go and do that. So we were all busy. So me, Dave, and Roger the Tornado Cruz, who's on tonight, we went over and showed our face, as we said we would, over at LCCW.
Yeah.
And for all you that didn't get a chance to go over there or didn't hear what happened, there is a video on Facebook and YouTube now. It's been uploaded to both places, and you can see what happened. So, Draven Grimes, the Forbidden Kingdom. I told you, you just woke up the sleeping giant now. Now, I am going to insert my nose in your business because I told you we was there on a peaceful mission. We were invited by management of LCCW to come over there and say hello to everybody and promote LCCW. No, you and your 3 other goons wanted to jump me and Roger while we was saying what we needed to say. So, you made it now my business to be in your business. And I was, right, David?
You were all over there.
Yeah, I sure was. Yes, we took a beat down. That's because it was 4 on 2.
Yeah.
And Roger has not worked in a while. I haven't worked in a while. I didn't have my boys there.
Yeah.
So now I'm even more furious. So I had asked LCCW management if I could be in the corner of one of the workers that used to work for me, Wade Daniels, the enforcer, Wade Daniels.
Yes, Wade.
And their management said yes, even though I'm not affiliated with LCCW. So I was in their corner. But Dave, you've seen how they try to keep me away from all the action, right?
Oh, there was some guys on there.
Hey, there was 3 guys on the outside, just to 1. And they had me cornered every which way I could go.
Either side of the ring.
I couldn't go to help Wade out. So I grabbed a chair. Didn't I not?
Yes, you did.
Grabbed a chair, and I was fixing to wallop some people, Michael. Wallop several people.
Yeah,
well, I couldn't get around to even wallop anybody. I was just trying to keep my eyes on the match. Well, let me just say it this way. Wade Daniels got screwed. And Wade Daniels is not the heavyweight champion. So that is Rip. Rip is the new champion. Okay. So we have a show coming up on December the 3rd. I'm just going to make this short and sweet. December the 3rd. And there's supposed to be a tag match because, you know, those tag team belts are still open, David, because remember it's double count out. Yeah. So there's going to be a match between the Forbidden Kingdom and Kid Hollywood and Wade Daniels. I was informed today, and I'm going to make it my official business to make it official, I am going to be the special referee in that match on December the 3rd over in Middleburg. I am going to try to have, I don't know what's going on with my boys on December the 3rd, but I'm going to try to have some of my boys there so they can watch my back. If not, David, when is it? January or February? Not sure still yet, right? We're going to go back to Palatka, and I've already challenged you guys already to an over-the-top battle royal match. My guys, your guys, 4-on-4, and you put the belt up. The winner of that match is the new LCCW heavyweight champion. That could be you.
That belt would look good on me.
It would. And
Look better on you, but
no, it looked good on
saying.
you. It could be Byron. It could be Mitchell. It could be Roger. It could be me. I don't care. We're going to take that belt, and then I'm going to shine it up real nice, whoever's wearing it, and we're going to stick it straight up your, you know what? There you go. All right. So I see Pepper. She's all up there. Hey, so anyway, that's what happened there. What about crawling for the phone?
So,
Follow that up,
it's
right?
so hard to follow without Crawling for the Fallen, a 2-day event that was a fundraising and recognition for fallen law enforcement officers around the state and around the region. It's an ongoing event, absolutely fantastic time. Weather wasn't exactly the best on Sunday, but Saturday was absolutely amazing. Great turnout, hundreds and hundreds of Jeeps, thousands of people, campers were set up. I was able to break free from my duties, and I took my little ride out there. As people know, I'm the black Jeep of the family. Thank you. But it was nice. We had the whole family there. My granddaughter got a chance to go riding in the Jeep again. She loved it, went trail riding. She screamed, and she had a great time like that one. The Jeep is no longer black. It's a lovely shade of muddy gray, which will require pressure washing or which I will be getting to eventually like that one. Shout out to Fire Chief Ben Carter and Lieutenant Cody Johnson. Thank you guys for letting me tag along with the trail ride that we did. Had a blast. Really enjoyed it. We're already laying plans for next year's Crawling for the Fallen. It's going to be even bigger, and it just continues to grow. It's a great time if you have an off-road vehicle. Doesn't have to be a Jeep. It can be.
Somebody asked me that, and I'm glad you said that.
Could
Somebody
be a side-by-side,
okay.
4x4s, anything like that. When you can bring it out there, ride the trails. The trails have been meticulously cared for in that they've actually put a lot of work into getting to where you can go off. You've got mountains. There's areas where you can climb. Rock piles, rock mountains, there's logs that you can try to traverse. There are deep, deep mud pits, and when I see deep mud pits, I mean, yeah.
I seen a couple I'm stuck in there, and I was like, oh, hello.
That would be me.
Oh, is that you?
Oh, yeah, I buried the old girl, but I was also able to pull a couple of them out. So it just depends on your point of view. I will tell you that the mud is very slippery, and unless you get a really, really good head start on it, it's hard to climb the cars. There's crushed cars you had to climb over.
Yeah.
And
the setup was really nice, Mike. I know you was involved in that a little bit, and man, that was a great setup. And when you went live, and I appreciate you going live, by the way, not only to say that you was at Crawling Fallen, but to also promote LCCW, which I want to thank you very much for that. But I was seeing some people in the background. Somebody was actually stuck there. Was that you, or is that somebody else?
No. If I'm going to go live, it's not because I'm going to be sitting in Jeep going,
yeah, in front of the. You're not
we're
do
not
that.
going to do that one. No, hey, listen, I'll fess up. I've gotten stuck every year, because I just pushed the envelope a little bit further.
You got to, Mike. That's what it's all about.
It is, and it had an absolutely fantastic time for a fantastic cause. So, great time had by all. We're looking forward to it. And this is the beginning of a lot of events that's coming up in the region.
Good.
We got the Christmas on Call Street, the planning event going on, but that one we'll be talking about. We got a number of parades scheduled for the month of December. Of course, we've got some music that's coming up like that. A lot of different things going on in the event. The Crawling is just kind of the kickoff for the Veterans Day weekend as we move forward on that one. So a lot of stuff coming up like that. You will absolutely see updates going on that as we make our way through the next few weeks, posted on our page.
I tell you, that's exactly right, Mike. I want to thank you very much for what you did this weekend and what all of our other guys were involved in. I'd like for you to do me a favor.
Sure.
If you could get your computer, please, sir, I would like for you to pull up, I forgot to get one of those young men's name, about the shooting that happened at Virginia.
Oh, absolutely. Stand by just one.
I want to talk
it's
about
actually
that.
It's actually on the ticker, but
Is
I have it. Yeah, it's on the ticker, and I will get that for you here.
I just want to make sure I'm saying everybody's name, but we posted. I want to thank Michael and Mitchell and everybody that keeps up with that page. We post that news as soon as we hear about it. But if you haven't heard, there was a fatal shooting up in Virginia, Charlottesville. Virginia, as a matter of fact, actually happened in D.C., didn't it, Mike? I believe they were going to see a play right in D.C.
Actually, my understanding was they had just returned.
Oh, okay, just returned from a play. Okay,
but I'll double check that to be on the safe side.
Michael's going to pull that up, and we're going to read a little bit about that. But it just got me to thinking about life, David. David, a life. And I was listening to a sports program yesterday on the way home when this news broke. And these young men were between the ages, David, of 18 and 23 years old. Mm-hmm. Having a time of their life in college, getting their degrees, studying, because I heard that this play was like a study thing for them. They needed to go check this play out, and then they had to do like a project on it. Mm-hmm. And there was two others that were wounded in this as well, which we'll get to. Michael's pulling up that story here in just a second.
Me just
and I just want to say, life is so precious, man. I know we all do things that we push the envelope with each and every day. We all do habits that cause things to our health each and every day. But, you know, when you've got a young person, David, they were probably having the time of their life. And all of a sudden, it ended just like that because a former football player, for whatever reason, decides to go ahead and unload a bunch of bullets on these young men and women. I guess it was all young men. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to let Michael read this, and then I want to elaborate on a little bit before we shut down.
Absolutely. Suspect Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. is who is the suspect behind the shooting at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, is in custody and has been charged with second-degree murder and using a handgun, commit a felony following the shooting death of 3 UVA football players. Deshaun Perry, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Devin Chandler were fatally shot by Jones as their bus pulled into the campus parking garage late Sunday night. 2 other players were being treated for gunshot wounds. The students were returning from a class field trip to Washington, D.C. The gunman was a running back for the football team in 2018 but never played a game. Now, the suspect was also previously investigated for threats against the campus back in September after boasting about his weapon, and he was also involved in a 2021 concealed weapon event. Now, to continue on what you talked about,
right.
It's also important that you know 4 students were killed separately near the campus of University of Idaho over the weekend in what appears to be a homicide that's being investigated by law enforcement in Idaho as well.
You're hearing more and more about this at college campuses, high school campuses, and it's just a shame that Michael, the one in Idaho, there wasn't a lot of information on. We'll have some more of that later on. But the one in Virginia, Michael hit on a point that really just triggers and just irks me. This guy was on like the watch list. He was already being triggered for threatening other things. You know what I'm saying? And bragging about his weapon and this and that. Why didn't we, at that particular moment, really rod this guy? I get it. I understand that you have your own rights and things like that. But if you're making threats and you're branding weapons and you're bragging about weapons, more than likely you have an intent to do something.
Right.
And I just have a dadgum problem with this, that we are not being more proactive on getting these people on some kind of, I know we can't watch it, but on some kind of list where we're trying to figure out what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We hear it, and then we just let it go. You know, so Michael, you got that on the Idaho?
Yes, so police have identified 4 University of Idaho students who were found dead in a home near Moscow, Idaho campus on Sunday morning. The police department in Moscow have ruled the deaths homicide and have identified the victims as Ethan Chapman, a 20-year-old from Conway, Washington, Madison Mogan, a 21-year-old from outside of
Arlene, Idaho.
Yeah, outside of Arlene, Idaho. Zania Krunel, 20, from Avondale, Arizona, and Kaylee Gonzalez, 21, from Idaho as well. The police are withholding additional information until all of the family had been notified. They said in a statement, basically what it boils down to was that there was what appears to have been a party going on. A shooting happened during that thing here. They have not released any additional details, but they are saying that it is still under investigation. Nobody is in custody, although the police do have a person of interest. They do not believe that there's an ongoing community risk associated with this one, as they have moved on with the preliminary investigation. Some additional information, the chief of the fire rescue department there said the police were the first to arrive on the scene, the first responders. They did not go inside or transport anyone from the scene. The deaths were pronounced there at the scene.
Wow. So, you're hearing more and more about this. And I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that, yes, the weapon was the one that killed these students, but that weapon would have never killed anybody if it was out of somebody's hands that was a threat,
Right.
that was, that had evil intent, and for whatever reason, in upcoming investigations and upcoming weeks, we'll have more on this.
Indeed.
But these young people, you had 4 in Idaho and 3 here, and then I know 2 others were shot there too at that one in Virginia. So you had a total of 10 young people that are out enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what happened in there to start any of this. I don't know what this young man was thinking when those 5 people were coming back from that play. That was a homework project. But what my concern is young people that didn't even begin to see and taste life have now lost their lives. And there are saddened family members, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, uncles, grandparents.
Well, and there's more to that story because we're focusing on college campuses.
Yes.
But we're talking 7 deaths over the weekend.
Well,
That's what happens at least that many, if not more, every weekend in larger municipalities such as Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles. So it is a unfortunate trend that we've been seeing about this one. And they talk gun control, but yet areas where we have the strictest gun control is where we're seeing a lot of the violence that occurs. And I'm not going to get into a political debate on this one. This is not about that time. But it is important to note that this is a great opportunity for parents with youngsters, young tweens and teens and young adults to talk about the importance of gun violence and situational awareness. It's important that you know where you are, how to get out of a situation, whether it be an exit, whether it be how to make an emergency call, how to communicate in an emergency through text or anything like that one, so that these youngsters know how to protect themselves and to remove themselves from a hazardous environment, because they may not be fully aware of the situation as someone who's older who may have some experience in dealing with certain conflicts and that sort of thing like that. Always a good idea to take advantage of a situation, make every tragedy a teachable moment, and that's how we reduce tragedies in the future.
And that's exactly right, Michael. Well said. And look, these kids obviously didn't know this was coming. Right. I mean, hey, if they did, I think 3 nice-sized football players would have been able to handle one young man.
Pretty sure.
Yep. But, hey, this guy probably came out of nowhere with this weapon. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. And that's all she wrote. Now, I'm not saying that in a light manner, because we put out a great statement on our page. And I just want to send our prayers, our condolences, our thoughts to all the families that have been affected by this tragedy at both places, Idaho and Virginia, and also any of the administrators, all of the people, teachers, professors, anybody, friends, anybody that was involved in these young people's lives that On the Spot with David Rodgers from right here in little old Stark, Florida, is thinking about you guys. And our team is committed to help out in any way that we can. And again, we just start with our prayers and our condolences and our thoughts on that. That really, Michael, really bothered me today. I just can't understand why people think that it's okay to shoot up anywhere, shoot people anywhere. and think it's okay. You've got to have some evil in you to be able to do that, and say it's okay, and when it's not. So I wanted to get involved with that a little bit there. I was trying to follow it, Dave. We're fixing to close the show down here. I didn't follow it, Mike. Did Trump officially announce he was running today?
That will be at 9 p.m. So we are
right,
expecting
9.
an announcement. Should be this evening at 9 o'clock.
And we won't be on air, but hey, please, I'm sure most of the media will be covering that.
I'm
right?
willing to bet that that's probably going to be a
Okay, most of it's going to be a big deal there.
Broadcast.
We interrupt the broadcast, right? So
Speaking of interrupting the broadcast,
yes,
a great category.
okay,
I had a really good night at trivia Wednesday night. More
Okay.
teams than I expected. We ended up with I think I ended up with 9 teams.
nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a really good time at that.
And I did talk about that. Well.
Oh yeah.
Well, can you
There it
enlarge on that, Dave?
That is right there.
Can
Now,
you enlarge on that?
This, and we'll take a look at
That's
this.
a mess.
This used to be
A shiny Jeep?
the black Jeep of the family. And not so much right now. And
You don't have to, Dave. You can't.
but it's gonna take a little bit of effort because
There
she is. But I will tell you that she performed like a champ. For those of you that aren't really familiar with Jeeps, let me give you a brief overview on this one. It's supposed to be black. That is removable at some point. And that front bumper is bent down lower than it's supposed to be, which will require a little bit of work on that one. But did that rescuing a certain individual. We're not going to throw any names out there. They buried it, and we ended up having to do a winch out. That is my toy. I love my Jeep, and it performed admirably, rescuing others, and I was very happy about that one.
Well, there you go. The heater Jeep there is covered in mud, and he can get out there and wash it up.
Yeah,
So,
exactly right.
All right. Again, Trell's going to make his announcement. Supposed to at 9 o'clock tonight, as Michael just said. We just talked about these shootings that went on. Michael, have they officially decided anything on the House and the Senate yet?
Well, they did decide that there's still some debate going on like that. They have selected a new Speaker of the House. Whose name
is it? Mitch McConnell?
I believe it is Mitch. I will confirm that momentarily, and then we'll let you know on that one. Again, that's all going to come
And then
out.
the Senate, supposedly the Democrats held that.
Democrats did hold the Senate, but the Republicans did get control of the House. At least they're moving forward with that. There are still a couple of too close to call. Of course, we're still dealing with Georgia. That's going to be a runoff. However, the GOP is moving forward with the plans to
take over the House,
to manage the House, and so they're just laying the groundwork to getting all that in place.
Surely, I agree with you. There are some evil people out there. It is what it is, and unfortunately, we can't spot each and every one of them, and we just have to, like Michael said, just watch out for your scenarios. Just watch out the best that you can, because you just never know.
That's it.
All right, Michael, we got some weather.
We do have some weather. Let's take a look.
Let's look at some weather.
Let's take a look. And you'll be happy to know that the heat is gone, and boy, have I got some good news for you.
All right.
You're going to love this. You ready?
Okay, yes.
Look at this pollen. It does not even exist. 0.1
Wow.
Thursday, Friday,
That's
Saturday.
nothing.
Your allergy forecast giving us great weather conditions on that one. More good news, nothing in the tropics.
Nice.
It says 48 hours, buddy, I'm talking nothing for a week, if not even longer. And again, hurricane season ends here in a few days.
Right.
But that's not all. Check out the drought index. We were in a little bit of a mild drought conditions before the storm that rolled through. Now there was no risk of drought. We're still seeing some decent ground moisture, and I'm expecting that to work out very well as well. Moving on to the rest of the forecast, I can tell you that regionally it's beautiful. Now we got some clouds in Orlando for as we make our way through the rest of this week. But look at these. Now, these are the high temperatures. Memphis, 46 tomorrow. 57, Birmingham 52. We're like a 78 in Orlando with some clouds and a little bit of drizzle as that frontal boundary makes its way through. But as the front makes its way through, it's going to stall out. We're not going to really have a whole bunch of really great weather, but we're trying to make our way through it, as you can see here, because as we move on to the local forecast for tonight, cooler, clouds overnight. Beautiful conditions, though, for the most part, low of 59 degrees. Looking at a northwest wind at about 5 to 9 miles per hour. Tomorrow, again, cooler, sun and cloud mix. High temperature, only 70 degrees.
That's perfect, man.
I'm telling
take
you,
it.
a northwest breeze coming in at 5 to 10 miles per hour or so. It's going to look out really good. And then as we head our way into the 4-day forecast, which
4-day
I have to say,
forecast. The 4-day. I like that.
forecast.
I do like that.
There's a slight chance of rain all the way through Saturday. But again, check out these temperatures. Comfortably cool. 70 Thursday, we're talking 62 degrees. Friday, 60 degrees. Even Saturday is still going to be right there at 63. Lows in the 40s. It's going to be, we're finally starting to feel like we're reaching some cooler weather, some seasonal weather as we make our way towards the Thanksgiving holiday.
That is awesome, Mike. I got 2 questions for you.
I got 2 answers for you.
All right, here we go. First one is, what's the game? First of all, is there going to be any moisture in the air for the Friday night game?
Yes. Now there is. There is a slight chance of rain, and when I say slight chance,
Okay.
we're talking like a silent 10%.
Okay.
Now here's the kicker, though. Would not be surprised if we don't see fog starting to develop at the end of the game. So if you're driving in and you're coming from Gainesville or whatever like that one, don't be surprised if you get a little bit of fog bank building in here. We had a fog advisory that went out this morning. I expect to see it again tomorrow morning just because of the moisture content in the air. Probably every morning we're going to see fog. Dense? Probably not. Patchy? Absolutely. So we'll see how that works out.
All right, second part. Tim, give me a temp for the game.
Temperatures are going to be nice. So we're talking about it's going to be starting to cool off a little bit. So I'm looking at temperatures to be right about, say, 58 to 60 degrees.
To start?
Off.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then dropping off to about 54 degrees by the end of the game.
Wow, man, this is football weather.
So here's what I'm telling you to do. Bring a thermos if they'll let you.
If they let you,
with
with
hot chocolate or
yep.
coffee. And if they'll let you. Don't know if they will or not like that
Right,
one.
better check that.
Dress in layers. Make sure you bring a jacket with you. And make sure that you are prepared for, and again, I don't think it's going to rain, but it's going to be kind of just a
It's a little drizzle.
Plan for it accordingly. Don't think, it's not going to be a washout. It's actually going to be a fantastic game. This is perfect football weather for a night game. I think it's going to be amazing, and I'm excited about that one because I think the best thing next to the temperatures that we're experiencing this week is going to be the victory we see Friday night.
Absolutely. Curtis Knights brings up a good point, and I didn't even think about it, Mike. He said you should have seen the fog last Friday night on the field, and there was.
Absolutely. There
was. Absolutely.
And I think you're going to see that again this weekend as well, probably a little bit thicker as we go towards the end of the game.
Right.
And it's simply because of the inversion with the temperatures and the moisture in the air.
Yeah, like Michael said, we should just leave you with the Gainesville East Side Rams coming to town.
Yep.
They're sporting a 9-2 record. The Tornadoes are 10-1. We beat them in week number 4, 28-0. Now let's see if the Tornadoes can replicate that same deal right there. Because if they can, they'll be moving on to hosting the regional final on Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah. Guys, it's been a great show. Thank you, Mike, for showing up. Thank you for the information.
Absolutely.
Dave, thank you for producing the show. On behalf of the missing Byron Bagwell, the missing Austin Stevens, the missing Mitchell Gunner, don't forget Mitchell Gunner show on the Spot Motorsports Media, 7 o'clock on Thursday night. He's got a special guest coming up. Mitchell will be filling in for Byron Bagwell on Friday night's call. Michael will be in the command center. Dave, I'm not sure what we got him doing. We got him doing something. But anyway, God bless you guys. Y'all have a great week and a great weekend. And a great weekend. See you next week. That was good.